Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the Teacher Empowerment Summit brought to you by Teachers Starting Fires. My name is Jesse. I'm out here in Denver, Colorado, as hopefully you can tell. And I want to say welcome to day 3, and also thank you for joining us again. Austin's a little behind the scenes. He's also answering questions on Facebook through email, and he's there for you as well. But Austin and I put this together because we had also been to many PDs that maybe were completely student-focused, seem to just add workload to our lives to not actually improve the school culture, improve our own experience as teachers. And we wanted to be able to deliver something to teachers and help teachers basically across the country. And we're pretty excited it's actually scattered around the world as well. We have hundreds and hundreds of teachers registered for this watching the videos, and that's pretty exciting to us. So welcome to day 3 of the Teacher Empowerment Summit. I'm very excited to have you here. This video, I am going to just recap day 1 and 2 a little bit within the framework that Teachers Starting Fires has, and also give you our day 3 framework, kind of the third point that we're talking about, and go through all the speakers for today, who you could look for, kind of what they're going to be talking about as well. So it won't be a super long video, but it's exciting to have you here. It's exciting to have this chance to share all of these amazing interviews with you. I know I've spent the last few months, Austin has as well, interviewing these amazing speakers all over the world, and we're very excited to be able to bring their ideas, their tips, their immediately applicable like practices and tips to your classroom, things that can help you enjoy your life more as a teacher, and not only serve the students better, but also get like your experience as a teacher, and hopefully have you leaving the summit feeling empowered in your own life, both in the classroom and outside of the school as well. So quickly, I'm going to switch over to screen sharing here. Boom, and there we go. Okay, we'll present that. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Teacher Empowerment Summit. Basically, we've gone through, I was talking about, and I talked about this yesterday, but Austin and I, our background in Teacher Starting Fires, we both have outdoor experiential education practice as well as our indoor and academic practice as well. Austin has kind of a Peace Corps background, and then I ran summer camps, and then together we ran an indoor adventure center focused on field trips and academic content as well out in Denver, Colorado here. And so basically after a few years, we realized there were all these things that we'd been working with our outdoor and adventure staff that let them enjoy their profession more, that let them, lesson plan faster and have a more rewarding experience overall as a teacher, as well as make sure that they were still delivering expert and quality content to to their students in their subjects. So anyways, one of the pieces of the framework we use that this summit is actually kind of based off of is this idea of the experiential ed triad here. So we have basically anytime you go on an outdoor adventure, or in the case of your classroom, an indoor adventure, you are going out there, you're the leader, and you have only 3 things with you, which is yourself, the resources that you bring with you, and the team that you bring with you. And our summit is focused on those 3 elements as well. So day 1 was all focused on the self triad, and we'll throw these up. I talked about them a little bit yesterday, and you can find that video as well. But essentially, you heard speakers from all over the world talk about how to build up mindfulness, how to build up a sense of mission, how to continuously improve your craft, how to connect to others as a leader in your field, how to make sure that you have the right food, the right level of fitness, and the right level of actual social connection and fun in your life in order to enjoy your profession and stop feeling burned out, stop feeling like you're overworked, stop feeling like you're super stressed. And a lot of that is being able to build up this mindset to make yourself as strong as possible to survive in the classroom and outside the classroom as well. Yesterday was our resources day. So day 2, you had quite a few speakers again talking about resources. Our strategy on resources, just like in the outdoors, in the classroom, is minimizing the number of resources. One idea that actually, I don't think we've talked about it yet at this, but in the outdoor world, it's called tool seduction. And the basic idea is, Mount Everest, or a much less extreme example, any kind of smaller mountain around that has snow on it, you have a huge number of options of tools of things to put on your feet to make sure that you don't slide, of different ice axes to use, and it's very easy to get seduced by just the newest, shiniest version of that. And every year you could spend thousands of dollars on a new ice axe. But if you don't have the technique, if you don't have the mastery over that tool, it really can do nothing but kind of slow you down, trip you up. And I think this relates a lot to technology as well as just, new standardized tests and everything else in the classroom, is that over and over we tend to jump at the next biggest, shiniest thing that we're promised will solve problems when it's really not going to be a new tool. It can be just minimizing the things that you're using, mastering them as well, and then any resources you have, physical, psychological, mental, emotional, maintaining those resources as well. So not only maintaining, of course, your own physical classroom and teaching your students to do the same and setting the example to lead upwards as well, but also maintaining your, and this is part of the food and fitness and fun, but maintaining your own psychological strength and maintaining your own body, maintaining the connections you have with your students, which is another resource. And so being able to minimize, master, and maintain resources is a great way to be able to basically keep a strong sense of leadership, a strong sense of empowerment in your classroom, and make sure that you're not getting overwhelmed or kind of buried in different and new tools. So today, this is day 3. Our final point, we'll go back here. Yeah, so our final point here, you can see we've got our resources, and then the other thing you have anytime you go on an adventure is going to be your team, which is our team triad. The first point of a team is trust, and you'll see this in a huge number of business and leadership books as well. But building up team, and the team that you have, if you're a teacher, we always stress at Teachers Starting Fires thinking of your classroom as a team. In the outdoor world, even though you're the leader and you have all the content knowledge and people are paying you to be in charge of them, you still have a team. And if they're not part of your team, and if you're not being a team leader with them, then you endanger your own lives. In the classroom, it's not quite as extreme, but we all know the classroom where we feel like we're part of the classroom and that we're easily in charge and people want us to be in charge, versus the classroom where we're clearly trying to kind of dominate or be the dictator instead of be a team member with them. And it's much harder that way. So building up trust. Also building up an interdependence. So a team is not a team unless everybody on the team actually knows that they have a benefit from being part of the team. If everyone feels like, fine, I'll be in the same room or in the same group, but I'm really here for myself, it doesn't work. And it's the same in the outdoor world as well as the classroom world, which is what this summit is all about, is that building up. And so today, as you listen to these speakers, think about ways that you can build up the sense of interdependence, not only between you and your fellow staff members, or if you're the principal, between you and the entire school of staff members, but if you're a teacher, think also on the class by class basis, is how can you build up that sense of interdependence where everyone in the classroom actually feels that they need each other to reach their full potential. And finally, success and ways to give students or to give your staff or to give your fellow peers a sense of success as being part of this team. So that's our team triad today. And we're going to switch back here to me. There it is. So today, you are going to have some amazing speakers, and they're all focused on this idea of how to build up your team. And if you're a principal, you obviously have a huge team, not only your admin team, but all of the teachers under you. And I guess we would normally do in the kind of leadership world, instead of under, think about the members that are above you or that you're there to support. We kind of do that bottom-up leadership method pretty often. But think about the teachers that you have that you can support. If you're a teacher, think about ways that you can build a team with your classes or a team with your peers. And there's a lot of different ways to do that the speakers will talk about today. So a quick cap of who we've got today. Quite a few amazing people, and everybody has these excellent ideas, even the ones that maybe have a little less of an international presence. But we have available for you today from basically now until I believe it is 10 a.m., either Mountain or Central Time, should be Mountain Time, tomorrow morning. So you've got the entire night to watch these, the entire day as well, depending on your schedule. But we've got Jennifer Abrams, an international educational consultant, and she's going to be talking about how, as teachers, we're trained in a huge number of things in terms of interacting with students and being culturally aware with students and being able to build connections with students, but we're almost never trained in how to talk to our fellow adults. And for basically all of these, I think you'll hear a recurring theme, but the basic idea is, think of a staff meeting, and have you ever been to a staff meeting where there is some type of tension, some type of maybe dis-ease between people, and the method that your staff uses to deal with that is to kind of awkwardly look away from each other and then hope it goes away and not really make any progress there. Same thing, how many times have you had some kind of tension or pressure building underneath, kind of the unspoken level of your staff and not been able to address it? So if you've ever had some kind of conflict, and just paying attention to social media boards with teachers, there's a lot of conflict out there that is between staff or between different teachers, or even between teachers and students or principals and teachers, all of that. So instead of these posts, and we see actually a lot of them, it's almost surprising if it wasn't so common, but teachers, principals saying, hey, a teacher is talking bad about me, how do I address this? And then teachers saying, hey, other teachers are talking bad behind my back, or we've been kind of fighting the entire year but never said anything about it. So all of these speakers are addressing that, and Jennifer Abrams starts with that, talking about how to have difficult conversations and make sure that you're actually moving forward. And as she says, finding conflict juicy and engaging, but not actually negative, which is good. We also have Dr. Becky Cohen Vargas, who shares decades of her research experience and talks about her writing and her research as well in the area of creating identity safe spaces. And that's not just for students. That is, she has quite a few examples. Some that were kind of shocking to hear are still happening in modern schools, and yet they are. And so ways to create environments where your teachers feel that their entire self is supported, where their entire self is welcome in the school and able to contribute as well. So that's Dr. Becky Cohen Vargas. We also have Charlo Reynolds. She comes from Class Not Chaos, and she talks about building up relationships in your classroom. So if you're a teacher, building them with your students. If you're a principal, building them with your teachers. But building up relationships and how you can help improve your teams through different methods there. We also have Allison Apsey, who is kind of, she basically, her footprint is getting larger and larger every time that we talk to her and kind of check in with her. But Allison Apsey talks about serendipity in the classroom. She is a principal right now and also an author, and she talks about serendipity and basically how choice theory, and she gives basic, I think it's 5 basic steps for choice theory, and how you can use that to give people a greater sense of control. Whether you're a principal providing that to your teachers or a teacher providing it to your students, it is how to build up a team where individual members feel like they're very happy and have chosen to be part of the team instead of are kind of forced to be there in your classroom or in your school, which is obviously an important skill to have. We also have Lavana Roth. She teaches a SHINE framework for helping people essentially focus in on their own sense of identity. She also is focused on basically kind of, I think the best way to phrase it quickly would be altering kind of the high school to college framework to make sure that people are finding a future career that actually fits them. And her framework also applies to helping teachers find their own method of teaching and their own kind of, style of teaching that will give you an ability to really, feel empowered, but to latch on to what is most meaningful about teaching to you. Let's see, we've got 2 more. So David Franklin, we also talk with today, or you can see the interview with today. And he talks about how conversation and culture tie together so well. And he also talks about how students play a large part in developing a new culture or a better culture in your school, and is definitely a recommended talk as well. And finally, Sine Bell. She is also, she is a principal down in Texas, and she gives her interviews all about embracing productive conflict. And if you remember yesterday, it was Leroy Slanzy talked about how he uses play to almost like elicit negative behavior so that you can then address it and teach students to make positive choices instead. And Sine's framework for productive conflict reminded me of that a little bit, and that we always, at least what I'm used to in the teaching environment, is probably similar for many of you, but think of conflict as a negative thing. And she talks about how instead you can really positively prepare for and then react positively to that conflict as well, to make sure that it is something that helps build your school up. All right. So that is day 3. You have a ton of speakers today as well. 7 of them today. So you've got 7 speakers today as well. Yes, it is noon. So all of the videos and every time zone have switched over to the next day. If you have a video yesterday that you really wanted to watch, or you have extra videos today, or even if you have one video where you're like, wow, I really want to have all of this information, I want to have access to all of this throughout the year, or if you want to have the MP3 version of every one of these interviews as well, so you can podcast them over and over on your way to work or your way home from work, we do offer that VIP access pass as well. So that's your chance to, right now we've got a couple levels of it, but if you want that full package with MP3s, with the transcripts, with the one-page action sheets that gives you some highlights and where to look for them in the interviews, and you want to have lifetime access to all of these interviews and videos, that's the VIP pass. Right now during the summit, they are $97. If you wait until after the summit, they do jump up again to $147. So if you want to get one of those passes right now, I definitely recommend it. I know as I did these interviews over and over, even though I had prepared and talked to them and had knowledge of what they were going to be talking about, every single interview, I was just amazed at what they were sharing and how quickly I could apply that in my own classrooms and my own teaching experience as well. So that VIP pass is still going. And then also, if you're still here, I do want to give a sneak peek, and you're going to get some emails about it as well. But tonight at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so that would be 9, 8, 7, and 6 across the country respectively. But 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm going to be doing another live video, and it's a presentation about a really special opportunity that Austin and I put together that is going to, if you're interested, help you take all of these different videos, all these different ideas, and start really incorporating the pieces that you want most and the pieces that you need most in your own life into your actual habits and daily practice, so that you are ready for basically so that you're ready for next school year, so that you're ready to end this school year on the right note. But we're going to help you and give you a framework to help you turn all of these videos and all this new information into actual habits in your daily life, which is definitely can be a bit of a trick. And that's why we want to be able to help you with that. So tonight at 7, if you have seen any of these videos and think, wow, that would be amazing, but I don't know if I can do that on my own, then this is a great opportunity for you to check in. So with all of that, I want to say thank you again, all of you. It's great to have everybody here, and have an amazing day at the Teacher Empowerment Summit, and I will talk to you tonight as well.